Here on this map you see the number of missile defense shields in Europe and in Russia, stationed by Obama and by Putin. These missile defense shields are on land and water. We have missile defense shields in the Baltic Sea and in the Black Sea. And we have another missile defense shield stationed by Obama close to Spain in this area. On this map, very close to China, you see an unprecedented naval drills and missile defense shields being stationed on the South China Sea, in Taiwan, and also we have a missile defense shield being activated by Obama in South Korea. On top of that, we have missile defense naval drills by the US, South Korea, Japan, and other United States allies in these regions. Things around the world, especially in the South China Sea and along Russian border with Eastern Europe, are really getting hot. Our research findings clearly indicate that a major conflict between NATO and Russia, China and the United States can begin anytime now. As many of us suspect, the signs that a major conflict is about to break out between the United States and China and between NATO and Russia. Those signs are everywhere. China's military exercises in the South China Sea, adding tensions after an international tribunal ruled out that China had no exclusive rights over the South China Sea. The point that I really want to get across is that with tensions rising in the South China Sea, China does not accept or recognize invalid Hague Court decision on the South China Sea. The Hague-based International Court's decision on the South China Sea is a null and void, and Beijing does not accept or acknowledge it. Immediately, that brings all kinds of red flags. All sides must be prepared to sit at a negotiations table instead of unleashing yet another war on Earth. Any kind of military operation, as a rule, always leads to a full-scale war.
China is refusing to recognize the Hague's historic court ruling yesterday over territory in the South China Sea in favor of the Philippines. Beijing says it might now then boost its military presence in the region. Emily Sue's here to tell us more about this. This ruling yesterday was expected, and so was China's reaction to it. It said it wasn't going to listen to what the Hague had to say, and sure enough, that was followed through, wasn't it?
Well, yes, absolutely, Kevin. Let me take you back to the beginning. From the very beginning, when the case was first submitted to the Permanent Arbitration Court at The Hague over 3 years ago, China already dismissed it as a political farce, saying they won't recognize it, they won't accept it, and they won't enforce it. After the ruling was handed down yesterday, well, China reiterated that, but stressed that they're willing to resume dialogue with the Philippines in order to resolve this conflict. But speaking at a press conference yesterday, actually today, the Vice Foreign Minister, his tone wasn't so diplomatic. Let's take a listen.
None of the 5 members from the arbitration panel comes from Asia. Do they understand Asia? About the issue of the South China Sea? The 5 judges are paid. The Philippines paid them. Maybe some other countries also paid them. We don't know. They work for profit.
We are working really hard to report real news to you. Unfortunately, 80% of our videos are not advertiser friendly. That means we do not get any financial support from YouTube. Use any debit or credit card to donate $1, €1 or £1 through PayPal. Also, we want to say thank you to you all for your donations. Thank you for supporting Breaking News TV YouTube channel. The Hague ruled that China has no legal basis for its claims in the South China Sea. The Hague is much less worrying than Washington's efforts to militarize the Asian region. We are already in an arms race situation triggered by the United States. That arms race at this particular point is essentially directed at 4 countries: Russia, China, Iran and North Korea. These 4 countries are on the drawing board of the Pentagon, and they have been there for many years. The World War III scenario that the Pentagon is provocating on a routine basis. These 4 countries are the targets. There are 2 central issues. One is the fact that the United States has a project to militarize the Asian Pacific region, specifically threatening China. The other issue is that the territorial dispute between China, the Philippines, and Vietnam. China is urged by the United States and Japan to stop distorting international law using the arbitration on the South China Sea to serve their own political aims. The territorial dispute in the South China Sea is an artificial creation designed to create a strategically unstable situation for China in a region crucial for China's development. South China Sea artificial island, it enables China not just to challenge the United States military dominance in Asia, but also to send military to protect China's shipping lanes and resource supplies.
The US and the Philippines, they are treaty allies, and that the US has several military bases in the Philippines. Well, many analysts are suspecting that this case really is orchestrated by the US in the name of their so-called diplomatic and military pivot or rebalance towards Asia. Here's how the Chinese Foreign Ministry had put it.
Before the United States adopted the rebalancing strategy, there had been some disputes in the region and some contradictions between the related countries. But on the whole, the countries in the region had been able to maintain the overall peace, stability and security. The situation began to change only after the United States adopted the rebalancing strategy in the Asia-Pacific region.
Why does China need more than 1,000 new aircraft? This new aircraft weighs roughly 220 tons, has 4 turbofan engines and can carry up to 66 tons of cargo. The aircraft has a flight range of 3,200 miles. China's Air Force put into service a new, domestically developed, large transport aircraft as a part of the government's ambitious modernization program. This new aircraft has a maximum takeoff weight of 220 tons and is ideal for carrying cargo and people over long distances. And this new airplane can fly in very difficult weather conditions. The Chinese Air Force needs more and better transport to better fulfill its military responsibilities, including safeguarding national security, as well as domestic and international rescue and relief work. This is another indication that China is expecting to be at war very soon. This information clearly indicates that China is changing logistics system. Nearly $5 trillion in trade passes annually through this region of the South China Sea. When a conflict breaks out in the South China Sea, China to use aircraft to deliver goods, and China will convert cargo ships to warships. Simple as that. China prepares its 172,000 civilian ships for war. Chinese civilian shipbuilders have to ensure that their vessels can be used by the Chinese government during the times of crisis. Just remember that China will use any means to win a war against the United States and its allies.